they've had to jump out of the cars, the windshields of them completely smashed in, garbage cans on fire in the back alley. And as we were making our way up Richards, people were taking the newspaper and post office boxes and throwing them through the windows of the hotel, the Westin Hotel that's on Robson. And as we moved up Richards, they were throwing planters, they were throwing newspaper boxes through the windows. People were walking up the street crying. We've seen people injured, and women were coming up to us screaming out how embarrassed they are that this is what Vancouver has turned into, the reputation of the city. We have seen the police have been trying to use fairly low-key methods still. The riot squads are out, that they haven't been confronting any of the crowds, more just trying to move them out of the area and out of the downtown.
Leah, I'm just going to break away for a moment because up where we saw those two police cars being attacked, we now see what I believe is either, I think it's tear gas, but it may be smoke. Natalie has an eye on that.
I was watching while you were talking, and indeed the protesters did what they were trying to do, and quickly put it out, but they were trying because the window was smashed to get some kind of igniter in there and light that on fire. So that's where the smoke came from. It was from protesters. We've been watching closely as several people have been taking turns jumping up and down on this police car in the parking lot across from us. Still, no sign of police moving in on this particular crowd. They are on the periphery. It makes me wonder, as we are getting word of a serious car fire on the scene or in a parkade, our crews are on the ground actually running back to the plant as we speak to bring us those pictures so we can take you to that. And that's just happening. So I don't know how Vancouver police, they're prioritizing where the bulk of their officers are. I can also tell you a block away on Dunsmuir, there is a huge contingent of police there. They're outside. Yeah, oh, and as we see, that's right now, there's flames. I'm not sure if this is firecrackers, but
I think that was more tear gas. They were the police with there.
Yes, and
I don't like sports. I played lacrosse growing up, which is a pretty rough sport, and got cross-checked one day by somebody a lot bigger than me, and I stopped playing that same day, and I thought, what the hell am I doing? I like music. I'm going to get my body injured. I'm going to ruin this. I'm going to ruin my body. I'm going to break a limb doing something that I don't even really like that much, just to feel tough or whatever. I don't like sports. I don't watch hockey. I don't watch football. I don't know anything. I knew that Vancouver was playing in some sort of game for something, and I'm finding out now it was the Stanley Cup, which I think that might have been the 5th time in my life I've uttered those words out of this mouth. I don't like sports, don't care about sports. The whole idea of sports to me is sort of taking that inherent tribalism, macho man feelings that we have to defend our tribe and focusing it on something that is so ridiculous as to think that the players on that team represent you or your tribe, when the players on whatever team that you're going for usually aren't even from your area or from your country. I was fortunate enough growing up that I didn't have parents who were into sport. If anything, I sort of was a little bit fond of NASCAR, but even then, how much can you watch cars going in a circle? But I'm watching this for the first time. I mean, I woke up a few hours ago, and I knew that there was games going on in Vancouver, but I don't think it needs to be said that this is just embarrassing.
And they are releasing more tear gas out there on the street now, like?
Looking at that, what was a very big fire, as those two...
Where I am, British Columbia and Vancouver has a reputation of being like the snotty capital of Canada. The snotty, snobby Starbucks and high-end restaurants.
Now, I do see a lot of police presence nearby, and maybe now they're going to come...
Pampered, spoiled area of the country.
Is a huge amount
and
of police dealing with it.
I've written about how I felt about the Vancouver Olympics.
Fire trucks now say we've now just learned that we're in a situation where it's now safe for
how it was pretty undeniable that it would burden the country and the province with more debt and more cons than pros.
Fire crews come in and deal with situations like this.
And I'm just finding out now that in '94 there was these riots as well when they lost the Stanley Cup. But this is
and a fire at a park gate on Seymour, just a block away from us.
And not only the police are in action too.
I'm not the type of person to try to pigeonhole an entire province for the people that come out of it. But I have had a series of run-ins with people from this province that are negative run-ins with people that I'm trying not to pigeonhole the entire province. But this is embarrassing. And it's not even over, they're not even rioting over something that's worth rioting for. People are rioting because they lost a hockey game.
Another in-your-face confrontation, and that's on Granville Street.
There's people that are actually injured or having a real emergency that the police and emergency services can't access because these people want to light a police car on fire and jump on top of it.
Control there as well, so lots of damage, lots of property damage being done, just further down.
It's like they don't realize that they have a video camera and it's streaming on CNN and CBS News. Like they don't realize how infantile, juvenile, silly, stupid, retarded that this is making them, Vancouver, British Columbia, and Canadians look in general. So I've said it before. Sometimes I don't even feel like I identify with this planet, let alone this country. I know that I'm not growing up liking sports or any sort of sport really, aside from, like I said, lacrosse. Growing up and liking music and not trying to be one of the tough guys. Growing up, I've already had enough experiences where I don't feel part of the crowd or the group, but this isn't helping matters. This is making me feel like, man, I'm not Canadian, I'm not American. I want to renounce my citizenship and get off this planet and leave everybody here on their own. At the same time, here we are, I'm stuck here on Earth with these rioting Vancouverites. So thanks, guys. Thanks. Making our country look like retarded adolescent crybabies. And not only that, but I mean, we're people there who are in that crowd are seriously impeding, seriously stopping police and emergency services from getting to people who are actually injured or actually need help throughout downtown, throughout the Lower East Side, near Robson. I don't even know what to say. I'm coming from a vantage point where I don't like sports, I don't like hockey, so I feel like I don't really have my hat in this race or a dog in this race. So I can sort of take a look at it from the outside and say, wow, I'm glad, they're the ones doing it, not me. I don't even watch hockey, I don't know anything about the sport, don't want to know anything about the sport, don't tell me about hockey, I don't care about hockey. Grown men skating on ice skates, pretending they're from your area when they're not even from your area, usually they're from another country altogether, making multi-millions of dollars, while we can idolize over them and totally ignore the fact that our country's being sold out, that the military-industrial complex is in endless wars, and the most important thing for us as a nation is the fact that we lost a hockey game. So don't try to educate me on the benefits of being a hockey fan. I don't care if you think I'm not Canadian because I don't like hockey. I think people who are obsessed with hockey sort of, I could go on, but I'm not going to. I don't have many friends who are obsessed with hockey, put it that way. I don't like to associate with people who are passionately into sport. I think there's more important things in life to be focused on. But to each their own, on the other hand. If you like sports, that's fine. There's 7 billion people in the world, and if you're one of the ones who like sports and hockey and all that, then that's fine. I'm not judging, just saying. Not my cup of tea. And in this particular instance, I'm sort of glad that it's not, because when people come to me and say, what do you think? I don't even like sports, so I'm sorry. That makes Canadians look stupid. I'm sorry. But nothing to do with me. Unreal. British Columbia. Unreal.